All right, welcome back. Well, some technical difficulties, TC, but we're back here. Let's move on to our next matchup. Going up against my team, no big deal. LeBron Kings going up against Scotty Benzing's team and the CD's Nuts going up against them. Both 2-1, both 2-1 teams. One coming from a big upset victory, and the other getting destroyed by one team. One team's on fire. One team is struggling a little bit, coming back from a loss. Let's move to Scotty Benjamin's team. He's got Patrick Mahomes. He's got Tua as his quarterbacks. We'll see what Tua does. Showing some ankle back issues. He should be okay. Austin Eckler, Harris as his running backs. CeeDee Lamb, Michael Pittman Jr., Cortland Sutton, wide receivers, George Kittle is his tight end, Damian Pierce, and thank goodness, Mari Cooper. And as a second flex spot, TC, he's got Josh Jacobs, Miles Sanders, Michael Thomas, Kareem Hunt, all on his bench. Well, how do you feel about Scotty Benzin's team?
I think this is his best lineup that he can have right now. I do like that he put Cooper in, and I like that he put Pierce in as well. At this point, you just kind of we've seen the rookie got he got 11 touches, then 15, and then 20. So they're really starting to feed him the ball. They're starting to understand how useful he is. So I think that's a good decision going forward. Um, Now, situation I'm looking at here is he's got the Bucks defense against Kansas City. I don't know if that's going to work out for him. That could help you in the
I'm
long run.
guessing it will.
We got
I'm
another
guessing it
chat.
will. It will change there. That
Jake
defense.
McKinley. Yeah. Jake McKinley says fluke victory.
I'll take that
Um,
fluke victory, baby, all day long. All day long, Skin. Fluke victory.
Keyword victory. Keyword
Yep,
victory.
that's the key word there. Yep, thanks
But,
for that, Skin.
if you win, somebody has to lose. And is that a fluke loss? Keyword loss?
Don't talk about fluke losses here on this vlogcast. We hear it enough with with Q. We do. With
Yeah,
fluke,
we
oh flukes here and there,
he
fluke
might pop
toilet
up
bowls.
somewhere and
Enough
like
of the flukeness.
talking
Um,
about fluky.
Move on to my team, TC. I got Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, my quarterbacks, Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry been playing well as my running backs, Devontae Smith, Stephon Diggs, and Curtis Samuel. My wide receivers, Pat Fairmouth is still in as my tight end, top 10 tight end. Zeke Elliott and James Robinson, my flex spots. How do you feel about my team, TC?
You did a good job. Picked up Samuel. You drafted Devontae. And you drafted Robinson. They're all starters for you. Now you really your biggest weakness is your quarterbacks, and they're not
Mm-hmm.
even weak quarterbacks, but they're not top 8 right now. You need Rodgers to be able to play like Rodgers can, and you need Kirk Cousins to play like it's a Sunday 1 o'clock game where it doesn't matter because any primetime stuff you're gonna have just nothing like you did last week. They can do decent, and your skill players all go off again, and you can come home with the victory. But as soon as you get these quarterbacks situation figured out, or if you find yourself a better one, your team is it's a contender. It really is. You've got a good team this year. This is probably your best team in recent memory.
Yeah,
So
we'll
good job.
see. I thought last year was a pretty strong team, but as of right now, TC, I think my team is. I mean, they're coming back from back-to-back good weeks, majority of them. Heck, I have Nick Chubb, who's right now currently the number one running back in our league. Derrick Henry, starting to turn it on a little bit. He's 12th, but I also have James Robinson, who's third. He's been
Yeah,
playing well. And then I have Stephon Diggs. He's number one. I have Curtis Samuel. He's top 10. I have Pat Fairmouth. He's top 10, like I mentioned, tight end. And then Devontae Smith has been turning on. So right now, I'm having some guys, playing well. But again, it's a thing. It's fantasy. So how long
it's
will that
fantasy.
happen? How long will Nick Chubb continue to dominate? How long will Stephon Diggs continue to be the best wide receiver in the game? Will Devontae Smith see multiple games similar to what he had last week? will Curtis Samuel still be involved in the offense like he is? Same thing with James Robinson. So there's a lot of ifs. Well, that am I doing the OQ right now and having these players having fluke games? I'm not sure. But right
I don't think
now,
it's so fluky, but I think that your weak link here besides QB is also Ezekiel Elliott. He's not the Zeke that we know.
he's
Um,
not.
if he doesn't get
No.
a touchdown, he's kind of irrelevant.
But here's what
He's great.
here's what I'm looking for Elliott. I know heck I kept him, and this is kind of silly to say for someone that you just kept. But as of right now, watching him and watching Pollard, I'll be happy with 10+ points every week.
Yeah,
You
if
know
he gives you
that's
10 points in your flex, I
in
think
my
that's all you
flex.
can ask for.
So that's what I'm hoping for in the Elliott train there.
Yeah,
So
and honestly, I can see if Trevor Lawrence keeps playing like he has, he's improved every week. He's thrown like fantasy points wise, he's improved every week. He is ninth ranked quarterback. I see yourself having somebody like him being able to take over one of these QB spots, and if he can continue to throw 3 touchdowns a week, you got yourself a starter. So that's a good pick. It's hard to put him in over one of these two right now. So I agree with your decision to not
I
start him
think I
yet.
think the reason why he's not in right now, TC, is the Philadelphia defense been playing very well. The corners have they've been destroying quarterbacks. So I don't know, especially with Lawrence coming back from back-to-back weeks, if the Philadelphia Eagles would just like, hey, it's those last 2 weeks were flukes. The key word today, fluke. There you go, Q. But I mean, heck, I feel like Philadelphia could open the eyes possibly of Trevor Lawrence, or we could see this is a big game for Trevor Lawrence. See what he's made
This
of.
is
Is
this
this a
is.
heck? I'm here, year two. Here I am. The hype
Um,
is here.
he's
It's
good.
a big game for Trevor
He's
Lawrence
really
here.
good. I think honestly, I think it's an okay start if you start him over Cousins.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think you can choose wrong in that situation. I don't think that. I think that Cousin has a lower floor, but he's got a more. He's more consistent so far. So I think that's solid. But there's a direction that your team can head, and you'll need to pull the trigger sometime on some certain situations, and you'll be running for it, dude. You'll be in the running. You'll be in top three, top two. You can do it.
we'll see. We'll see. Still only week four. Lots of weeks to go. TC, before we do our predictions here on this matchup, let's go because we got kind of disconnected there. Let's do your. Who do you think winning? Who's going to win your matchup against the Brownie Batter team and the Savage Patch Kids?
I think the Savage Patch Kids are going to pull this one out. I think it's
I
my
think
time.
so.
I think Alvin Kamara and Brees Hall both get touchdowns. Um, I think Pollard does too. I think Burrow and against the Miami Dolphins, I think there's a big game. I think it is it at Miami? No, it's in Cincinnati, so it's not going to be so hot. We're not going to deal with the heat. I think we're going to have a good game. My quarterbacks are going to take me in, bring me home, and yeah, I think I'm going to win this week.
Okay, we've got another chat, TC, and then we'll continue with the thing here. Can I ask what your opinion is of a trade that was proposed to me would be? And I'm assuming he's gonna post that on there. So
Yeah, let's see it,
um,
Melkor. What you got? Now
we'll
you
see.
also with trades, it also depends on there's so much like we were talking about earlier, scoring system. Um, do you need this player that the other people are trading you? Can you still? I mean, also like trades are also defensive in a way because if somebody else doesn't get a player that needs a player, then you can still win the trade in that aspect too.
Hmm.
And
Well,
we play in trade happy leagues. We love trades,
we
like
sure do.
big time. We really like to do that. We like to move people around. Um,
Right. Well,
so
we'll go back to that. Our producer will tell us that. But TC, who is winning your overall matchup right now
well,
between
this is a
you
tough one
and Connor Limback?
because I think it's me. Ooh, I just saw the trade. I think it's me that's winning because of my record the past 5 years. Um, but for some reason, I don't know. Like I think that it could be very close. It could be even. I think it's almost even.
TC. You said it's even.
I'm gonna go even. Yeah.
You've played Connor
Oh wait, tell me how many
15
times we.
times.
Okay, so it can't be even.
Can be even.
7 to 8. I got 8. Connor's got 7.
You are losing 6-9. 6-9 to Connor
So
Limback.
I'm due. I'm due.
That's weird.
I
Okay.
know, right?
He did. We got a trade offer now. He gave up Armand Ray St. Brown for Cordell Patterson and Brees Hall. TC. This is a good one. What do you
Ooh, this
think
is a good one. What are you,
about this
what are
trade?
your other running backs? We need to know what the other running backs are because if this guy's deep at wide, he's got
There
Diggs,
he goes.
Kelsey,
He has
Sutton,
Diggs, Kelsey,
Samuel,
Sutton,
DK.
Curtis Samuel, DK, and fairly weak running backs
I'm
next
not
to
giving up
that.
Amon Ra
Milkov.
for those guys. That's tough, really. I would try to trade um like
I,
Sutton, Samuel, or DK for a running back before I give up Amon Ra for Patterson and Brees Hall.
you know what? I think, yeah, he's got Wilson, Jr., Harris. I think that was a good trade. I think it was because he already has Diggs, who's been playing out of his mind. He's got Travis Kelsey, Cortland Sutton hasn't been doing that bad. Okay, he's got Curtis Samuel and DK. Okay, he got Cordell Patterson, TC, who we just talked about,
I'm
has
not
been
giving up the
playing out
Sun
of his
God.
mind.
I'm not doing it. He's got a one. He says we play one running back and then they're a flex position. So he only has to have one good running back. Now he's trading for two good running backs. If you've got good receivers and you only need one running back, I'm not trading for two good running backs because you don't need them. Now I get the backup situation. I would try to trade off Sutton or DK for if
He already did it. It sounds like he already did it.
no
And I,
no it says he says I give up. He
oh,
hasn't done it yet.
okay. I would do it.
I'm not
I
doing
would
it.
do it.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
I'm glad
I
that
would
we
do it.
have the disconnect. I like it. I like that you will do it and that I wouldn't. If it's not like a smash accept, um, don't do it.
That's false. That's false. Because I think, again, he already has the best wide receiver right now. So, and
Yeah,
then
Amon Ross, St. Brown, and Diggs.
he has
I'm
Sutton,
keeping them.
Curtis Samuel, and DK. TC. Those
Yeah, but
will sub
DK.
in for St. Brown.
So then
And
they're not.
look at
No,
his
they're
running
not.
backs. They're not good. Cordell Patterson is there.
Yeah, I'm trading. Okay, trade DK for like Cordero or Sutton for Cordero or one of them for Brees Hall. Brees Hall's about to snap off. If you can get Brees Hall for like Curtis Samuel, I'm going there. Or DK
Well,
even DK for Brees
sorry,
Hall. Yeah, because
sorry,
Brees Hall's
we're
going to
not.
get receptions.
So we got one Keegan Scott, a flawed member, little Keezy disease. He said he wouldn't do it. Keegan wouldn't do it. He's with you, TC.
Yeah,
He's with you. Let's get back word. What do you got? What do you got, producer? What do you think? What would you do? He's not doing it either. Okay, so I'm the lone shark. We helped you out a little bit, hopefully, Mel, and hopefully that helps you out. Heck, if you've been mulling over it for 24 hours, heck, hopefully that
yeah.
helps you out a little bit.
Hey Melfort, thanks for the
Appreciate the
follow too.
follow. There you go.
Definitely.
There you go. Yeah. So heck, I say, I mean, I like it. I like what he could be getting, but again, these other losers say no. So thanks for that, man. Thanks for that. That was a fun little combo.
Yes.
Okay, we got another
Russell Wilson
trade
for Tom
here.
Brady.
Does he trade? What was that again, Q? Does he trade Russell Wilson for Tom Brady? Yes.
I'm doing that.
Russell Wilson for Tom Brady. I say yes.
Mike Evans is
Because
back.
heck, how often do we see Tom Brady? And Meg, I was an owner last year. Brand new year. But I think Tom Brady will turn it on.
Yeah.
Having his running backs, little slim pickets, not having Mike Evans last week, not having Godwin last week. I think these guys will help him out, jump in there. Tom Brady will, go back to be, a good fantasy football guy.
Yeah. Russ has his best options at wide receiver right now. He's not making things happen. Tom Brady will make things happen. He's getting his receivers back. Things are going to start working out for them sooner. I'm accepting that.
We agree with you, Mel. We agree with you. I believe that he will get up there, at least, if not top five, at least top 10. He'll jump in there. Absolutely.
That was the Seahawks 33. I'm sorry.
Seahawks
Um,
33. Thanks for
so
that
he's a
YouTube
Seahawks fan.
question.
He's a Seahawks fan, so that's why he wants, as you know, he's iffy on the rough
Ah,
situation or the Russ situation.
ah.
I get it, but Brady's Brady.
Brady's Brady. Yep, you're right about that. Okay, keep the questions flowing. We'll start for a combo, and we will answer your questions. Great questions so far. Let's move on and continue to talk about our matchups. TC, who's winning our overall matchup in LeBron Kings versus the CD Nuts?
I'm gonna say CD's nuts.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who's winning this week's matchup? Sorry. We'll start
Oh,
with there.
this week, huh?
Yep.
I'm gonna lean. This is tough because the ability that you see in these young players that are on CD's nuts team, they're just there's high chance for big games. But I think like the consistency route, I think that's you. So it's a tough one.
Yeah, good old yes or no question would be nice here.
Um, I think LeBron Kings is gonna win.
Okay, I agree. Hopefully that's the case. Let's move on to overall matchup. Who's winning the overall matchup? Between me and Scotty, we've battled 9 times. 9 times we have battled TC. Who's your guess?
I'm gonna say CD's nuts is leading 6-3.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
0 and 2 for Mr. TC. 0 and 2. I am beating
Better
him
than 0 and
5 to
3.
4. 5 to 4.
Ooh,
No big deal. Right, no big
that is
deal
no
there.
big
Five
deal.
four over the commissioner of the Flog League. Let's move on to the next matchup. This one's going to be a good one. The Skinny Sea Titans battling the Magic Skull Bus. Their prediction score is a little bit off, but heck, who cares about projection scores? All right, because heck, I was down by like 25 points, whatever, and then I came back and I was the underdog story. This is going to be interesting, though, TC. Will the Skinny Sea Titans, let's say they lose. Let's say they lose. Oh my.
Ooh,
Just last
oh
week,
boy.
TC, we were talking about will this team ever win or lose? And
And then they
he's
did.
possibly facing, I mean, this is a good matchup between this could be, heck, last one between you and Connor, possible toilet bowl matchup. This is a
Mm-hmm.
possible championship matchup. So we will see. I mean, heck, Skinch could be facing week 4 as another loss. What do you think?
Yeah. This if he loses and I win this week, we are only one game away from each other. So he doesn't want that. He needs to
Take
win this.
that, tease, or take that, Skin. How about
Mm-hmm.
that? Here's let me
Um.
ask you this. Of course, you can see a visual on our uh, Twitch or
Stream.
YouTube face to face right there. But I kind of talked about Justin Jefferson not scoring back to back weeks. TC not scoring over 10 points. Let's say he scores under 10 again. He puts up 6.5 fantasy points. Okay, is
Okay.
is Skin in trouble? Is he in trouble when it comes to Justin Jefferson? Justin Jefferson should he ship him away when something is kind of hot right now? 3 weeks in a row, scoring under 10 points is scary, scary. What do you
Yeah, he's not shipping Justin Jefferson away. I think. Um. I think that this is just like a few off games for Justin Jefferson. We've seen how good he can be. We've seen how good he is. I think he finds himself back on track. But we have to look across the pond at who he's going to be squaring off against, and he's going to be facing off against Lattimore, and Lattimore's been shutting everybody down. So this could be another down week. Um, but luckily, it's early in the season, so if your players are going to underperform, this is the time you want it because you need to know what you need to get yourself into for to give yourself a playoff run. Now, if his keepers continue to perform like they have, he is in trouble. He is.
think?
It doesn't matter how good his QBs are. Jonathan Taylor and Justin Jefferson and Cooper Cup aren't scoring. If they're not scoring touchdowns, oh no, oh
Mm,
no, bad spot. So
absolutely. And heck,
he
Jonathan Taylor, like you mentioned, kind of a similar thing. But, I mean, his quarterbacks right now, obviously TC carrying the load. Last week they just dominated. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, TC. Do you see any the feelings starting to change between Clyde Edwards-Helaire? Is that I know you've been a CEH hater last couple years. Is it
yeah, I
starting to grow whatsoever? He's fourth position ranked right now. He is the fourth running back out of 3 weeks. He has scored over 10 points every week. He's had a touchdown, only one. All right, and he's carried it under 10 times every week. But he's finding the end zone. What do you think about Clyde Edwards-Helaire? He's very highly, involved in the passing game as well.
it seems like they figured out how to use him. Now
Yeah,
he's not a goal line back, and we found that out quick. But he is very good in an offense that can extend the play duration to make things happen like what Patrick Mahomes can do. So there's no Tyreek Hill there, so they got to find another outlet. And the Chiefs are doing a good job of spreading the ball around, and I think CEH is benefiting the most out of anybody on that team that isn't named Travis Kelsey. I think he's their second best offensive weapon outside of the quarterback situation. So they got to keep feeding him the ball, and they will because they don't really, you're not going to trust Juju Smith-Schuster or MVS about over him at this point. He's making the most of his targets. He's 3 for 3, 4 for 4, 5 for 5 in the concurrent weeks. So he's doing what you need to ask him. So you know, I believe he's a great pass catching back, and I'll leave it at that. And he's
we
good
got
for fantasy.
we got Scotty's, geez, Keegan's matchup. Murray Goff, quarterbacks, Cook Jones, running backs, Chase Waddle, Brown, Hollywood Brown, wide receivers, Mark Andrews leading the way, tight end number one. Um, his tight end category, Jeff Wilson and Javante Williams. He is benching DJ Moore and Mike Williams and Gabe Davis. What do you think about Keegan's team?
Yeah, he's got a pretty like consistent squad right here. No, but I'm wondering about Dalvin Cook. Like with the shoulder injury,
Mm,
what's going to happen with that? Is he going to be useful? We don't know, but luckily he's got other running backs that he can put in that situation. I'm surprised he's benching Mike Williams. Um, I guess it's because Keenan Allen is back and he doesn't believe in him. But I do like Waddle and Chase as the 1-2 wide receiver. Marquise Brown had his biggest game, which kind of shot him into fantasy stardom of the past week. So that if he's the only target there in Arizona, then he's got to be a play, and especially with the stack, the Kyler Murray, Marquise Brown stack. Now I'm looking, and I'm not liking Keegan's quarterbacks. They just don't do it for me. We know that these players have potential, but they're just not activating that potential. And Keegan, if he really wants to make, oh, speak of the devil,
oh
Keegan
yeah.
S 28. If he really wants to go for the win this year, he needs a more consistent quarterback. He's going to have to do something. He's going to have to make a big boy move and go get himself a quarterback because I don't even
Oh, he's
think,
got Dak Prescott. He's got Dak Prescott who will return here in a couple weeks. I think
yeah, but so far Dak Prescott is considered injury prone. Like he's
eh,
been injured in the last 3 years each year, right?
it could definitely be worse for Keegan. Listen to
It could
me.
be.
I don't
It could
usually
be
back
worse.
up Keegan Scott. That's a thing I normally don't do. But he's got the 10th and 11th quarterback right now. Things could be worse
It could be.
because the heck wasn't it last year that he had awful quarterbacks. So this
Yeah,
is an improvement.
it is an
We'll
improvement. You
give him a
couldn't have got
bone.
worse than it was.
Yeah. So I mean, 10 and 11, and those numbers could get better, at least for Murray, anyways. I mean, heck, Jared Goff, I'm kind of surprised about, but he's been playing well, better than what he's done in the last couple of years. But heck, it definitely could be worse.
Yeah. And he'll do something. He'll make the move. if he really wants to. I don't know if Deshaun Watson will come back and play well. He's got both of them, so he has options. He's got four quarterbacks who can play really well, but will they? That's the question. If he can
TC, got a question
figure
for
that
you.
out,
Would you
he,
trade Dalvin Cook for Austin Eckler? Dalvin Cook for Austin Eckler.
no, I
Oh,
wouldn't.
okay. There you go. Uh, no, you know what? I probably would not. Again, we know the talent for Dalvin Cook. We know what he can do, but you always got to think about the injury and in any kind of injury. I mean, he's had 2 out of 3 weeks. He's had over 10 points. We know that only one touchdown. But Austin Eckler is so much more involved in the offense.
Look at the
Position,
targets that Eckler gets. Like he's getting
yeah.
targets in half point or full point PPR. Those are huge. Um,
You
Dalvin's
know,
he's a running back. You know,
but here's the thing, so far, I mean, Dalvin Cook is, 22nd, Austin Eckler is 20th. So they're similar there. But if I had, um, I probably, I wouldn't even do it. I mean, I wouldn't mess with it. But again, I would not trade. I would keep Eckler. That's what I would do.
yeah, Eckler is the better of the two in my opinion. And also like what's weird about like one for one trades, you're basically just betting that my guy is going to be better than your guy in the long run. And those are hard to really predict. Those are really hard to sit in on and say, yes, this is an even trade now, especially when they're running backs. Now, if you was a running back for a wide receiver and each team needed the other position more, then I think that's an easier option. But running back for running back, and they're both really good players, but they haven't done much fantasy wise, like what they can do. I just sit on the player that I have at this point. Play it conservative and
Yeah.
and go from there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, TC, who is winning this week's matchup? Magic Soul. Oh, thank you, Tyler. Thanks for the question there, my man.
Thank you.
Who's winning this matchup? Keegan or
Uh,
Skin?
I'm I'm gonna say like neither of these teams have favorable matchups, but it looks like um, the Magic Skull Bus has even worse matchups than the Tennessee Titans. I think anyways I'm gonna go with the Tennessee Titans based off of Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts, just those two kind of leading the charge. But we thought last week that it was a write off that you were going to lose, but you didn't. So fantasy football will fantasy football. But I think the Tennessee Titans are going to bring this home. They're going to go 3-1. Magic School Bus is going to go 2-2.
Okay. Okay. I'm picking the Titans over the school bus. Yeah, I think Titans will bounce back, score more than 155 points this week, and they will defeat the Magic Skull Bus. Who's winning this overall matchup? TC.
How many times have they played?
They have battled. They have battled 17 times. Keegan and Skin, 17 times.
17 times. I'm going to say 11-8. Tennessee Titans.
That was a good one. Good job. Good joke.
I think the Tennessee. Well, this is tough because I think they're fairly close. But I think Magic Skull Bus is winning this matchup.
You got a number?
Yeah, 10-7.
Anytime. 10-7. Keegan?
Yeah.
It's 10-7. Skin. 10-7. Skin is beating Keegan
Dang.
Scott in the overall matchup.
Wow.
Oh, Keegan guessed. He guessed it, but he cheated. We're gonna say Keegan
Yeah.
cheated there. Yeah, shocker. Yeah.
Sh-
All right.
should I
So,
trade Jared Goff, Watson, and DJ Moore for Stafford, Joe Mixon, and Drake London? Um, yeah, I would.
why are we answering this question? It's Keegan.
I mean,
Um,
it's user interaction.
Jared Goff, Watson, and DJ Moore for yes. I want Joe Mixon and Drake London. Yes. I like
Um,
myself some Drake London.
yeah, but I don't know if that's going to happen because the person that he's going to trade that with doesn't trade. So, and or if he does trade, he only trades to Keegan or answers Keegan. So I would do it, but I don't think it's gonna go. It's not gonna happen.
All right, let's move on to our last matchup. TC, we have the Terry's Terrorists going up against the Philadelphia Queefles. This one, right now, TC, the projection score looks pretty tight, but Marcus does not have a defense in, so that might change it a little bit. Marcus has Matthew Stafford, Geno Smith still in his tight end or his quarterbacks. Fournette and Mixon, running backs, Debo Samuel, Mike Evans is back with the rookie Drake London, Trace, Travis Kelsey and tight end, James Conner and Patterson is flex spots. How do you feel about Marcus's team? Will he go in a 1-3 hole?
Well, there's a possibility. I think Mike Evans being back is great for him, but I also know that Chris Godwin's back. I don't know how much they'll use Godwin. Evans is healthy, so we know he'll be a target hog this week. I do like that. I do like Marcus's receiver situation. Um, Debo, Drake London, he's 11th as a rookie wide receiver. I like the Drake London situation here. He doesn't have a defense in. What's his defense? The Bills 3.9. This was a slight edge even more when you add the defense. Yeah, this is a decent. This is a good decent matchup. Neither of these teams are like really hot. You know, the 2-1 by the Philadelphia Queeples is kind of put an asterisk next to it because one of his wins was against me, and
Mm,
I don't think that really proves
mm,
anything.
mm.
So both of these teams are pretty even.
We got Q's
Uh,
team. Lamar Jackson carried the load last week, and he's got Tom Brady, who we were just talking about, will possibly turn on. Right now, he's 27th quarterback in our league. Has only scored over 15 points one time. He's thrown 3 touchdowns and 1 interception.
he's
Not
lost a
not
fumble
a
too.
good start so far for Tom Brady, but heck, his team, his Buccaneers team, 2-1, I believe, so far in the year. So Christian McCaffrey is another one, that's outside of the top 10. He's there, in Q's lineup still. We got Jamal Williams, a new face on this lineup who is position ranked 7th in our league. He's had a couple good weeks, and, with Swift being out, that's a good start there for Q. Devontae Adams, Deontay Johnson, and DK Metcalf as wide receivers. Dallas Goddard, tight end, Keenan Allen, and Devin Singletary. His flex option, he is benching so far. He's benching, DeAndre Swift, but Chris Godwin, Allen Robinson, Elijah Moore. How do you feel, Darrell Henderson, who was starting last week? TC, how do you feel about Q's team?
I think there's a fall off from his starters to his bench. Like there's too big of a gap to really, and that's where we see him mixing it up with the flex, having Devin Singletary coming off his best game in I don't know, like it's been a while since we've seen Devin Singletary have a game like that. So he's playing the hot hand. He's hoping Keenan Allen gets back to form, but we will find that out. DK Metcalf,
Mm,
underwhelming to say the
mm,
least, is still starting in his roster. I don't disagree because we know DK can be big time, and he did get 14 points last week because he had a touchdown, but he's very much touchdown dependent right now. And I think the biggest thing that this owner of the Philadelphia Queefles has to pay attention to is his running back situation. If DeAndre Swift isn't playing, luckily he's got the handcuff in Jamal Williams.
yeah,
But Christian McCaffrey, dealing with a quad injury right now, gets over 12 points each game. That is solid. He's position ranked 11. We know the guy is great. Are they going to unleash him? I don't know about that because it seems like they're taking it easy, but they have given him more and more attempts each week. But they're not utilizing him like he should be. He should be getting more targets. Really, just the Panthers just aren't fantasy relevant because Baker Mayfield just makes teams not fantasy relevant, receiving anyway. Like OBJ was a non-factor with Baker throwing in the ball. DJ Moore, a non-factor. and he had hype this offseason that Baker Mayfield was going to be the problem solve all of his issues, and it hasn't happened. So I'm not big on the Panthers right now, but and Christian McCaffrey's not the old Christian McCaffrey that we've seen and know and love. Um, I think that there's a slight edge, Marcus, and I think that is gonna. Uh, he's got a better wide receiver, running back, and flex core like overall, and I think that's what's gonna push him over the edge.
So you're picking
Now
Marcus over Q this week.
I'm gonna pick Marcus over Q this week, but I can't count out Lamar Jackson. So that is like really the one thing
Right.
on Q's team that's like, what do you can't count the dude out. It's back to back weeks over 40 points. If
Mm-hmm.
he does that again
Yep.
against Buffalo, oh boy.
Going up against Buffalo this week. It's going to be interesting to see. Heck, even if he scores 30 plus points, you know,
Yeah, that's big.
that's
That's
still, I
big
mean,
for
it's still
quarterback.
big. But I think I'm agreeing with you. We're buddies here. I think Marcus will escape and be 2-2. Push Q back to 2-2 as well. Kind of making all these teams even here, possibly. Who's winning the overall matchup between these two?
How many total they have? I think it's the Queeples. I think he's got more
They
wins.
battled 9 times.
I'm gonna say 7-2 the Queeples.
Good job. You went 1 for 3 today, TC.
But that wasn't
One
just
for three.
guessing, what the
One
the
for four.
matchup was. I was guessing the record too. So that's like a twofer.
Is that too hard for you, or?
No, I love it.
Hmm.
Let's keep going.
We got a game tonight. Dolphins going up against the Bengals. That should be a good one, even though the Bengals are 1-2. Still a very good team, defending, not defending champ, defending division champs there. 1-2 Dolphins. Shocked here, 3-0. Undefeated team, only
Um,
two left in the NFL. Eagles being one of them, but it's also the Dolphins and the Eagles, undefeated. Prime Video, 8:15. What do you think?
yeah, I'm a little shocked that the Dolphins are 3-0, but after seeing how hot it was, when they played the Bills, and honestly, the Bills were all over the place. They had the time of possession was heavily leaning Bills, so we know that they were moving the ball. They just couldn't score, and they were gassed. And the Dolphins, they pulled it out. They squeaked it out. I don't think that they're better than the Bills. Um, I think I think this is a very close matchup. Like both of these teams have really good weapons. I think Joe Burrow is a better quarterback, although Tua did have that really big week 2 performance that kind of skews him because his other performances were like under mediocre. Um, so yeah, I think it's gonna be a good fantasy matchup this week. I think start your wide receivers, your Jamar Chase, T Higgins, Waddle, your Tyreek. I don't really think there are any tight ends that I'm gonna start over anybody else on these two teams. It's really just the quarterbacks and the two options at wide receiver are the only players that you really need to pay attention to this week. But I think it's going to be a good game. I think the Bengals are going to win. I think they have to win. I don't think that the Dolphins are going to go 4-0. I don't think so.
We will see. We will see. Should be a good one tonight. TC, appreciate you coming on, jumping on. Long one today. Do you have any questions or comments?
No, this has been great. I just want to give a big shout out to our producer, the owner of the Philadelphia Queeples, the flog loser of 2021.
Mm,
He did a great
mm.
job with hooking us up, making sure our stream stayed, and making sure we answered the questions right. So thank you to him. And I want to, just let everybody know who's tuned in. You guys are great. We want to keep doing this and keep giving us trade questions. We love that stuff.
Yeah, Melcorks, 39, and Tyler. Appreciate you guys' questions. Heck, it makes it enjoyable for us. Talking about that and kind of giving outside look into your guys' league, and your roster. So we appreciate your time and questions.
Yeah, we like hearing ourselves talk, which is why we're here, and it's fun. It really makes it fun. Also, thanks to Keegan S28 and what's this other guy? Jay McKinley
Yeah,
28.
yeah, gosh.
He was
Um,
all right. He had a few things to throw in, but you know.
well, again, TC, thanks everybody for listening. TC, thanks for joining. Everybody, Q, thanks for the producing. You have listened to the FLOGcast Network. Everybody stay safe.
Hey.